Hi, I'm Kate at the Quilting Bee, and today I'm going to be talking about how to use Janome's Cover Hem guide for the CoverPro models. This one is technically called Type 2, so there are two different versions. This one is a little more comprehensive in how it works, and I think it gives better results. It's designed for use with all of their CoverPro models from 900 to 100, 2000, and 3000. Today we're going to be working with the CoverPro 3000 to demonstrate this. So it comes as this one piece, and then also you have two set screws. So the first thing we're going to do is get it attached here, and we will adjust how it fits going forward. So we're going to begin by slightly tightening these screws, enough so that it is firmly positioned, but loose enough that we can move it a little bit as we need. So just like that. So I'm starting with a shirt that's already been folded at the hem and at the sleeves to 5/8 up. So this guide can work with any hem from 5/8 to 1 3/4. So I chose the smallest one, but you can use anything in that range. Now I did pre-press this, so it's important to remember that this tool is not getting you out of pressing first, it's just making it easier to feed it through once you already have pressed up your hem. So I'm getting it started in here. I'm not worrying yet about where it's positioned, but I'm just trying to align everything. And I'll try to fold this up so you can see it. So what we want is for this folded edge under here to line up nicely in this grooved area. And this part is a little tricky to see, but what we want for this edge to line up with is the leftmost needle. So that's why we're able to slide this with these screws a little bit loose. We want to make sure first that the raw edge that's turned under is going to line up with where my left needle comes down. And once you've gotten it lined up where you want it, now we can tighten these screws back down. And I should point out there's 4 different screw holes on this machine, and I'm using the innermost 2. So I'm also going to adjust these white screws here, and they are controlling the cloth guide. So I'm just going to make sure that that is right up against my folded edge, not pushing it, but not leaving a gap either. And then this is something that's also a little bit tricky to see, so let me see if I can get in here. There's this little white finger here, and its purpose is to hold down your folded edge so that it can't go anywhere as you're feeding it through. It can't fold under or move. And it is spring-loaded, so as you push it forward, it's locking, and then you release it by pressing this little knob. And you want to push it over to the right as far as it will go until it meets your fold. And again, you're trying to sandwich it between the folded bottom and the top of your fabric here. Okay, so to recap, we are sliding this hem right up to the edge here. It's underneath this guide. And then on the underside, I just need to make sure that this little white finger is holding down that turned under edge, and it's kind of in the middle of the 2 layers. And now we're ready to begin. So as we go, we are just sort of helping it along, just guiding it. Because for best results, you do want to make sure it's feeding nice and smoothly into the guide. Now, when you're coming up to a seam that's a little bulkier, and that little white finger now needs to move out of the way, and so that's why we have this release clip here. So if I push that in, it slides over to the left, so I can pass this under much easier. And once we're over it, we can put it back in position. Okay, so I've sewn over my beginning at the very end there to lock it. So in the end, what you have is your evenly turned under hem, and you've caught just the edge with the help of this guide.